Thank you all for tuning in.
The following is a presentation of Bald Spots Productions.
Be sure to like, comment, and share. Subscribe, follow, whatever it is you've got to do to kick that algorithm into gear and help us reach more people.
Yes, it is I, your humble host, Bill Hatch III, coming to you live from the Place Studios of Bald Spots Productions here in the beautiful city of Santa Ana, California. Joining me from a more than acceptable safe social distance is my guest for today, Pete Price. How you doing, Pete?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Bill?
I'm doing pretty darn well.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a wonderful day, and we have a little bit of cloudiness outside, which is just how I like it. I don't like the bright sunshine. It bleaches my hair.
Mine too.
Yeah. But where are you calling in from?
Calling in from Dayton, Ohio.
Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out in flyover country.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where we're going to be before too much longer. We're going to be in Missouri.
Oh yeah.
And, California is just too expensive for what I'm doing.
Oh
and,
yeah.
It's beautiful, and I love living here. But everything I do for work and the show just doesn't require me to be here. So why should I pay to be here?
I get that.
So I shall soon be in a flyover state as well. Usually my first question now is, what are you reading?
Well, let's see. I am reading a couple of things. For like pleasure, I'm reading a James Lee Burke novel,
Okay.
and he's a wonderful author. He writes beautifully. He's got just great prose. He writes a lot of suspense type
Okay.
novels. But check him out. He's really, really a great writer. And I actually
James Lee Burke, you said?
James Lee Burke, yeah. And he's probably up in his 80s now. He's got a couple of different characters that he writes about, a detective down in the New Orleans area, and then also kind of an old town, small town sheriff out in the border area of Texas. So a couple of different characters, and really, really a great novelist. And then I don't know, for nonfiction, I'm bad at remembering titles, but
Okay.
I just finished a book that is about young men and boys and young men, and how it is very, very difficult for them to grow up in today's world. There are a lot of things that are against men these days, and this book was very well researched and extremely well written. John Gray was one of the authors who wrote, I think, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, which was a very famous book. But that was quite an interesting book.
Okay. Yeah, I could imagine that's an interesting topic. I mean, it's difficult for anybody to grow up in this world we're in now. There's so many influences and so much going on, but definitely can see how it's particularly difficult in what do they call it, woke society, for people of any formerly powerful demographic to do their thing. I definitely understand wanting to have people live in peace together and support each other and bring out each other's strengths, but some of the ways that people are going about it just seem very wrong, because it's like turning the oppression around. It's just rough out there. But,
the other thing about the book was that there's sort of an unspoken societal deal that has been since, very, very early on in time, where men, went out and they did the dangerous work. They went to war. They sacrificed their bodies. And in this age, they don't have to do that anymore. But
Right.
they've sort of lost that purpose, and so they need to figure out a way that they can, I guess recalibrate would be a good word for it, and figure out,
Yeah.
where they can find meaning in today's society.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I myself have had difficulty finding my better purpose, and I really love doing these shows. And we finally started to get a little traction on a regular basis, which is cool. I've had a couple of shows where the guest has brought like 20,000 viewers or more to the thing, which of course has trickled down to viewers for shows that he's not in. Tony Salemi has been a favorite guest of mine. He's a life coach from England,
Hmm.
and whenever he's on, the numbers hit 20, 30,000 easily, and then the numbers for other shows start going up because people watch the other shows. And I haven't had him on for like a couple months now, and we're still hitting 300 to 500 on some of the episodes,
That's great.
which is really cool. Yeah, so definitely finding a purpose there, and then my day job is I'm launching a service, an um, AI supported business automation service, and we have all sorts of tools like calendars and social media management and website and funnel building and all sorts of different things. There's like 20 different things all wrapped up in it to help businesses automate their systems. And so I'm finding purpose in my professional life, my paid professional life as well. Um, I haven't made any money on this yet, but yeah. And so, what is it that you do? I know I noticed the. It looks like you got a couple of guitars hanging in the background there,
I do, yes.
and also and you said you do a little music. What is it you do?
Well, I am a full-time musician now. I retired from a 40 plus year career in business.
Okay.
I ran a construction and remodeling company for
Hmm.
over 40 years and was fortunate enough to sell the company in 2018.
There
And
you go.
so I had always played in bands and kept my hand in music. But when COVID hit, I started doing a lot more songwriting. I'd always been
Okay.
interested in songwriting and had always written songs, but I got into it in a much bigger way since we couldn't go out and play live anymore. So I put together enough songs to produce my first album, which is called Department of the Interior, and put that out, and I've had some really good success with it. So now I'm working on my second album, and so I'm very excited about the songs that I've written, and looking forward to go through the process with a bunch of really talented musicians. So I guess I'd call myself a full-time musician now because I've got the time and the energy to pursue that, and it's really like a dream come true for me.
Okay, that's very cool. How did you first get into music? Because construction and that kind of stuff doesn't really sound very musical.
Well, when you run a saw through a piece of wood, you can make it sing, but that's not exactly music. No,
Mm,
my father was an Episcopal minister, and
okay.
I was a pretty rambunctious kid. So around age 10, when he was able to get me into the junior choir, uh, that was the first thing that he did to try to, uh, you know, channel my energy and stuff. And so anyway, I joined the choir, and the choir master was the stern old British guy. He was came over during World War II and worked in Dayton, Ohio. and he was our organist and choir master. And boy, he just he put me to task. And if I acted up, man, he'd be all over me. But anyway, I learned that I could sing, that I had a good voice, and so I got some solos, and I'd come out after a service, and the parishioners would come up to me and they'd say, "Oh, Peter, that was beautiful. We love that," and all that. So I got a little taste of how that felt, and so then I started joining bands in sixth grade, and just off and on throughout my work career, I was mostly in bands. I still play in a band here in Ohio that I've been in for over 30 years now, called the Fries Band, and we do all rock covers, but we do mostly harmony oriented songs like Crosby, Stills and Nash and Beatles
Okay.
and Eagles and America, stuff like that. So I still do a tremendous amount of singing, and so I guess that kind of brings you up to date.
Yeah, it does. No, love Crosby, the harmony based stuff, Crosby, Stills and Nash, and definitely, yeah, you can't beat America with a stick. Um, but yeah, I like multi-part harmonies. Always have. Just totally a sucker for them. I grew up with my mother's quite musical. She learned to play the organ on our church's, well, what was our church's pipe organ, one of those big systems with the wall where
Yeah,
the pipes are all across the wall. It was in its day, it was an incredible instrument. Had the director of music for Notre Dame Cathedral actually flew out to Santa Ana to play that organ when it was first built.
amazing.
Um, yeah, it was, and yeah, my grandmother helped put it together, and my mother learned to play on it. She tried to teach us piano, but it didn't quite. Teaching, I guess, is different than learning. Uh, and not to of course put down my mother's ability to teach anything, but I just couldn't learn piano from her. Ended up this last couple of years took lessons from a gentleman by the name of Sky Lee Vague. Not his real name, that's his stage name. He does a lot of Prince covers
Hmm.
and a lot of original goth type music. But I learned from him how to play a little piano, and I have an electric organ out in the front room that I
Nice.
occasionally play on. But not very good, but probably good enough to to have a party. Uh, but yeah, so I love music. I also belong to a group called Music Network One, that joins business owners and musicians together, and for networking purposes. So I'm regularly promoting musical stuff all over the place,
Oh,
all
that's
over
great.
social media. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Fun.
We
So what?
we we
I'm sorry.
musicians need advocates like you. Nope.
Yeah, definitely not enough musical promotion going on, especially for the little guys. Um, the people just starting out, and yeah, we had one lady who she had just written her first song when she joined the group, and when she left the group a few weeks ago, she had more than 15,000 listens on the of her song on Spotify because of us promoting her on social media.
That's
And,
phenomenal.
yeah. So definitely, she was really tickled. That was her. I think who was it? Patrick Swayze for Patrick Swayze moment because he had written the one song that he wrote, and she was like, "I had my career, and now I have to write a song, and so I have to write at least one." She's written two actually. Well, she's written many more than that, but she's had two produced. and put out there. So yeah, it's I've had her on the show before. Her name's Erica Ann,
Uh-huh.
and she did one song called "The Ghost of Kurt Cobain," and then her latest single is "The One That You Love," and she does a lot of sad kind of music. So, but what kind of music do you write?
I write, from a musical standpoint, I write a kind of a blend of stuff. I write
Okay.
rock music, I write blues, I write ballads. I dip maybe just a little bit of a toe into country,
Okay.
but mostly I would consider myself to be an overarching category would be Americana, which is
Okay.
kind of a catch-all for all the genres that I just mentioned. Um,
Yeah.
but but I like for my next album, there's a blend of ballads and rockers that and some pop even that will be on the next album. So I just write what I feel, and I get up every morning and pick up the guitar and see what pops into my head. Sometimes I wake up with a song in my head, and I need to put that down, or I wake up with an idea and I just start exploring that. I just kind of write what I feel, and it seems to work out pretty well.
Nice. So do you make yourself write every day? Is there like a schedule to it to make it like a regular job, or is it just kind of as you feel? Like if you wake up one morning and you don't have a song in your head, you still make yourself write.
No, I don't. I just it's all pretty organic and just sort of flows out. I don't try to force anything. Sometimes, like if I'm trying to imagine songs for a project, then I'm probably just more in tune with that, and it's what I need to accomplish. So usually I have a lot more song ideas during that period. Right now, I'm sort of in the rewrite and edit phase of the songs that I'm going to put on the next recording. And so I have a tendency to like pull the songs out, play them, think about them, decide whether I can say something better, or if the song is too repetitive, then I look at maybe writing a bridge for it, or changing the chorus, or So right now I'm sort of in that nuts and bolts sort of that distillation phase where almost like making a really good French sauce where you just boil the crap out of it, and finally you come up with this amazing sauce. So I'm trying to make that amazing sauce right now.
So what is your process? Do you write lyrics first or music first?
uh, you know I don't really have a set process. I would say that probably 40 to 50% of my stuff is, the initial idea is either an idea for lyrics or for a song, or actual lyrics like a hook or something like that that bubbles up in my head. And then, maybe 40 or 50% are, I'm just noodling around on the guitar and I strike on a chord progression, or I strike on, some kind uh, of a musical hook that I build a song around. So, probably, I guess 50-50 maybe.
And then do you do your own production?
This one I'm going to do my own production. We put together a band to support my last CD release, and we actually recorded a live album. When we did the release party, we recorded the show, and the engineer for it is a member of my band. He's the keyboard player. His name is Jeff Tutt, and Jeff and I sat down and we went through, and there was we had a little technical issue that night where we didn't get some of the instruments recorded, so we had to bring them back in and re-record, like the saxophone player, the violinist, and the background vocals. So we brought them back in and reestablished what we had, and it retained its live flavor. And Jeff did a really good job on mixing it all back together. So he's going to do it. One of the things that I did when he did that for me was I bought him like the best digital audio workstation recording software that we could get for him, the stuff that he was familiar with working on and stuff. So I bought him the top end of that, and so we're going to record on that. It's called Steinberg, and we're going to record on that. We've done the demos, and we're starting to bring in musicians on Saturday, and we're getting started. So hopefully by sometime in the fall we should have the album done.
Okay, cool. Yeah, do you have a planned release date yet?
I don't have a specific date. I guess it takes as long as it takes, but I'm hoping that we can get the thing done by fall, sometime during the fall. And this time, I just put the whole album out the last time, but this time I'm going to probably release singles leading up to the album. So might release like, I don't know, 3 or 4 singles, and then finally release the album. So if we get singles done before the album is done, then we may release new music throughout the summer.
Cool.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome. It's always exciting to have a new release. I love having guests on when they've had new material on, obviously. So yeah, we'll have to have you back when it's time for the album release.
That would be great.
Let's see. Actually, do you have anything you could share with us right now? I often have had musical guests play a little bit of their material when they're on the show. Do you have can you do us a little impromptu live performance?
Sure.
Cool.
Let me just set up real quick.
Okay, no problem.
I'm still working on the lyrics on this song, but
a work in progress.
Yeah, this is going to be on the album. So
cool.
This song is called Long Lake, and the song is about a place that I've been going to up in Wisconsin for over 60 years, since I was just a young boy, and since I was probably 19 and an aspiring musician, I've always wanted to write a song about this place because it's one of these kind of places that never changes. I mean, there's been a few houses built up there over the past 60 years, but it's a place that has stayed as pristine and beautiful as it was when I was a boy there. So anyway, this one's called Long Lake. If today could last forever, I'd stay right here without a care. Watch the clouds slowly gather. Oftentimes I find my mind going there. Build a fire, brew some coffee, grab a book and find my chair. Watch the sun dancing on the water. In these troubled times, my heart takes me there. Reach the dock, test the water. Somehow it feels warmer than the air. Early June, it takes my breath. Oftentimes I find my mind going there. It's been oh so many years ever since I was a boy. We'd point the car true north and hit the road. Just knowing in this changing world a place like that remains keeps me going, helps me ease my heavy load. In the boat, tie on a lure. Hope it's right today to fool a fish. Say a prayer for him who taught me how to be a man, to hope, to dream, to wish. Last night the mercury dropped to 37. Fog rises from the lake in early sun. It's good enough for me to feel like heaven. Place my ashes here when my day is done. It's been oh so many years ever since I was a boy. We'd point the car true north and hit the road. Just knowing in this changing world a place like that remains keeps me going, helps me ease my heavy load. If today could last forever, I'd stay right here without a care. Watch the clouds slowly gather. In these troubled times, my heart takes me there. When I search for strength, my mind goes there. When I yearn for peace, my soul takes me there.
Nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
I can definitely hear the America influence there with the storytelling and yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy with that song.
Yeah, it's yeah, I can see why, or I can hear why. But cool. And yeah, so definitely sounds like I can hear the influences. I can hear the reasoning behind the lyrics. Yeah, childhood experience with going out fishing, and yeah, definitely a great memory
Yeah,
to share.
my dad and I used to spend a lot of time out in the boat fishing, and he was a very very busy man. So during most of the year, he was at meetings at nights, and he didn't have a great deal of time for us. I mean, we always felt loved and everything, but when we got him up to the lake, he was kind of ours for that. We were fortunate to go on vacation for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and um, those times that we would be out in the boat and just talk about life and stuff like that were just pure gold to me. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I can relate a little bit. My father always worked to make time for us, but he was in the military. First the Navy, then the Marines, then the Army, and yeah, so there were times when he was away, doing whatever military stuff. He was a chaplain.
Uh-huh. Oh,
So
okay.
I also come from a I'm also a preacher's kid. Uh, but
we know
but
what
yeah,
that means.
yeah, yeah, and yes, it does.
Yeah.
But now I get to a couple days a week. My father and I do a podcast
Oh,
and
great.
on religious matters. So we do a regular Bible study on Tuesdays, and then we do a topical study on Sundays. And so now I'm getting all this recorded material from him. That one hopefully far future date when he's no longer amongst us, then yeah, I'll have those recorded memories.
That's
Um,
fantastic. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, people don't realize how important it is to be with your parents and to ask them questions about, their life and how they felt about things, and, talk about history and what they were going through and how they got through it and stuff like that. I mean, that it kind of makes you the person that you are. And to sit and discuss that with your folks is, when you can't do it anymore, you really miss it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
So
I
yeah,
would
so all of you out there, while you can, make time with your parents, with your family.
absolutely, yeah,
You know,
yeah. Think about those questions you want to ask them.
because you'll never get another shot at it.
Yeah, yeah. They don't talk from beyond the pale.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what do you think? Do you feel like having someone else do the production work on your music is a better result than doing it yourself, or how do you feel about that?
I think you get a better result because uh, I think you get too close to the music if you're just doing it yourself. Like if you're just recording in your own studio and you're recording yourself, you're kind of limiting yourself to your own judgment. And I think a lot of people, that's what they want to do. But for me, I want my music to be the best that it can be, and I think it needs to go through the um, it needs to run the gauntlet of like my band's opinion, my recording engineer's opinion, people that I trust. I am friends with a very good poet and a published author here in Ohio, and I usually send my lyrics to him. He's a retired uh, creative writing and English lit teacher at the community college here. His name is Ed Davis, and I'll send my lyrics to Ed, and he'll send them back, and he'll say, well, that was pretty good, but have you considered this? Or you're really not pushing yourself to get the most out of this song. I mean, he can be very kind but very critical at the same time, and he makes me reach, which is like really important. I think you know just in general, people have a tendency to want to stay in a comfort zone, and they really should try to force themselves outside of their comfort zone as much as they possibly can, because that's where the real growth is. So, I've learned not to take anything personally, uh, and so I'm not threatened by somebody else's negative opinion of me. I look at that as a chance. Like, first of all, they're taking the risk of making me mad or something like that, or offending me. But I feel like that's kind of how you find out more about how you can make your song better, or how you can make your life better, or how you can make your relationships better. You just need to stop taking things personally. So that's really what I have. It's one of my morning mantras. I do a morning meditation every day, and that's one of the things that I tell myself is just not to take something personally.
Sure. Yeah, because like you said, where we're uncomfortable is where we grow. If you get comfortable in your place, then what's the where's the need to grow? Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing with being challenged. Um,
Yeah.
Being pushed to your limit is where you find where you can find some growth.
Yeah. The
Yeah, we
last
all
album,
need that.
I did 8 songs in Nashville, and that was an amazing experience. I got to work with some world-class musicians down there in a studio with a producer um, who is just super knowledgeable about music, and he's not only a recording engineer, but he produces music, and he also is a vocal coach. So when I did all the vocals for those 8 songs, he was in there coaching me up, telling me how I could become better, and I ate it up, man. It was great. So, and then I did 4 songs here in Dayton on Department of the Interior, and turned out to be a really strong album. I mean, I've gotten so many great reviews on it, and it's kind of humbling to have people talk about your music that way, because I mean, I would never say those kinds of things about myself, because it just would, I don't know, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah. Where speaking of that, where can people find your music?
Well, if they want to, they can go and listen, and they can also buy the music on my Bandcamp page, which is
Okay.
Pete Price one dot bandcamp.com. So Pete Price, the number one dot bandcamp.com. And then also they can learn about me on my website, which is petepricemusic.com, or they can just go out on Spotify or, Apple Music or Amazon or whatever. I mean, I'm pretty much all over the place, and look for Pete Price, and they can check out my music, and I hope they like it.
Well, I'll put the links up in the description so they can find your Bandcamp and your website.
Great.
Um,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, that'll make it nice and easy.
it sounds great. That sounds great. I appreciate that, Bill.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
Happy to do that. Want the viewers and listeners to be able to find you.
Thank you.
Um, Hopefully they liked the music you played for us, and we'll continue to search it out.
Yeah, I try to write kind of introspective songs that have uh, sort of a little clue of how I have figured out how to live a better or more effective life.
Mm.
Um, and some of the stuff is just straight ahead. What you see is what you get music, but a lot of my songs are, I'm very interested in how you like your inner life works, and how you kind of create your own reality, your own happiness, and so I'm just very, very interested in that, and I have a tendency to move toward writing in that vein when I can.
Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, I can't wait to listen to more of your tunes. Hear more about you. See, well, we've covered most everything. Want to leave something along for the next time you're on the show. Uh,
That
but
sounds good to me.
Great. Well, it's really been a pleasure having you on the show. And as I ask all my guests, do you have any final words for the nice people?
I just go out and be happy, be kind to other people, um, love your wife, love your husband, um, and love yourself.
Okay. Lots of love. That sounds like a good message. So I will leave you all with more of the same. Remember to be safe out there, wash your hands, and stay tuned for the ending credits.
Thank you all for tuning in.
This has been a presentation of Bald Spots Productions. I'd like to thank my producer, my beloved mother, Eileen Hatch. I, of course, am your humble host. I'd like to thank my very special guest, Pete Price. Support the show if you feel so led over on patreon.com. We're known as Bald Spots Pro. Don't you dare miss YWL Online. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever fine podcasts are offered. Tune in next time when my very special guest will be Jeff Rosley.
Be sure to like, comment, and share. Subscribe, follow, whatever it is you've got to do to kick that algorithm into gear and help us reach more people.
If you or someone you know needs support now, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. That is the suicide and crisis lifeline here in the United States.